ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। कुकारः तु अन्धकारो वै ऋकारः तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकृद्भ्यो नमः। नमो नमः श्री गौडपाद श्री शंकर भगवत्पाद सुरेश्वराचार्येभ्यः नमो गुरुभ्यः। प्रज्ञानां शुप्रदानैः स्थिरजरनिगरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविष्टान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नः। मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परमव्रतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। स्वप्नजागरिते स्थाने हि एकमाहुर्मणीषिणः वेदानां हि समत्वेन प्रसिद्धेनैव हेतुना आदावन्ते जयन्नास्ति वर्तमानेऽपि तत्तथा। विततैः सदृशाः सन्तः अवितथा इव लक्षिताः सप्रयोजनता तेषां स्वप्ने विप्रतिपद्यते तस्माद्याद्यन्तवत्वेन मिथ्यैव खलु ते स्मृताः। अपूर्वं स्थानि धर्मो हि यथा स्वर्गनिवासिनां तानयं प्रेक्षते गत्वा यतेवैह सुशिक्षितः। स्वप्नवृत्तावपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसते बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सदृष्टं वैतथ्यमेतयोः। जाग्रद्वृत्तौ अपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसते बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सत् युक्तं वैतथ्यमेतयोः। उभयोरपि वैतथ्यं भेदानां स्थानयोर्यदि स एतान् बुध्यते भेदान् को वै तेषां विकल्पकः। कल्पयत्यात्मनात्मानमात्मा देवस्वमायया स एवं बुध्यते भेदान् इति वेदान्तनिश्चयः। The dream state was taken to arrive at the Vyapti and Hetu, and the Jagarita Sthana was taken as the Paksha. Like yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi, पर्वतः वन्यमान् धूमवत्वात् इति हेतोः, that vyapti of wherever there is smoke there is fire, and that is taken, and the paksha on the mountain when the smoke is seen, a pramanagata jnanam that it is vanniman, it contains fire. The mountain has fire in it is a jnanam that takes place. This is how the Anumana Pramana works. So you have a Hetu Visesha, you have a Vyapti, and then in Paksha there is the Upanaya of the Hetu. Then the Nigamanam conclusion is made that it is Vanniman. So in a similar way, an Anumana was done that whatever is seen in the Vakan in Jagarita Sthana are Mithya, because of which Hetu? Drishyatvat. Drishyatvat iti Hetoho. Because by bringing the Upanaya of Drishyatva Hetu, the Vaitatyam of the Mithyatvam of what is seen in the Vakan was established. Why? Yata Swapne. Just like in the Swapna, whatever is Drishya Padartha is Mithya. Similarly, in Vakan also, for same Drishyatvat, because what is seen is generally Pramana Gata Jnanam. Correct? The Pramana, so there are two types of Jnanam that happens. One is through Pramana and other is Swatasiddham. By itself, it is known. So Atma is Swatasiddham and everything else is Pramana Siddham. Correct? Whatever you see in the Vakan or in the dream or in any other state of experience is through some means of knowledge. Here is a tree, here is a branch, here is a book, I am angry. All these things are through Pramana, you know. But your own existence, you don't need a Pramana, it is Swatasiddham. So these are all that is Pramana Siddham, which is Drishya Padartha, Drishyatva Deva Vitata. All of them are Mithya. Yata Swapne Drishyatvat Jagarita Padarthaha api Mithya eva. Okay, so whatever you are seeing in Vakan are also Mithya because of them being objects of experience. So that is one reasoning which was given at the beginning. What was this? Abhavascha rathadinam shruyate nyayapurvakam vaitatyam tena vai praptam swapna ahuhu prakashitam. Whatever is prakashitam, being within the grahya grahaka bheda, so whatever is objects of experience, that object of experience and the fact that there is an experience and the status of the sthani dharma of me being an experiencer, all three are vitata because of abhavascha ratadinam shruyate nyayapurvakam. The ratadi that is seen in the dream are mithya, as Shruti says, due to the reason of them being drishtam. Antasthanattu bhedanam tasmat jagarite smritam yatha tatra tata swapne samridatvena bhidyate. The only difference being there is a samridatvam there which is not there in the Vakan, it was told. Then swapna jagarite sthane ekamahuhu manishinaha bhedanam hi samatvena prasiddhena iva hetuna. Because of the reason, the hetu of grahya grahakatvam being same in Swapna and Vakan, they are to be considered as same as Vitata only. Okay, so that has been done. Now the another reasoning is given, which is Adavanteja yannasti vartamane pitattata Vitatai sadrishas santaha avitata iva lakshitaha. This also we did see. Anything which is kalavacchinnam vastu, time bound. When there is a limitation of time, that means it is not atyanta satyam. It's not a paramartha satyam. It actually has to be considered as anything which is Tani Dharma. It is there only in that state of experience, that's all. So if it doesn't carry itself to another state of experience, that means it has no reality to it. Anything which you are saying is Satyam should be there always. Trikala abadhitam eva Satyam. In all 3 points in time, it should exist. Everywhere it should exist. Even this everywhere is fine. Spatially unlimited is not a necessary condition, but time wise, it has to be beyond the limitations of time. Then only it is a Satya Vastu. Otherwise, it is temporary only. Yadrupena Ennishitam, that one definition we have seen many times. Here, time alone is taken. It should be the eternal is what is Satyam. When something is Satyam, it should have existed, it should exist, it should be in a position to always exist. It shouldn't be limited by time. The Kala Avachinnatvam, if it is there, then we can't accept that it is a Satya Vastu, Satya Padartha. So is there anything which is beyond Kala is what we have to see. But then what is time-wise limited, Kala Vachinnam cannot be Satyam. Maybe you can say there is nothing which is Satyam. That is okay. We will come to that. But at least you have to accept that what is limited by time is not Satyam. Adav ante cha yannasti vartamanepi tattatha. Vitatai sadrishaha santaha avitata iva lakshitaha. Even though they are thought to be avitata, they are looked upon as Satyam. This world, I am tangibly seeing this world, so it has to be truth. I am able to eat the food. That is where this Arthakriya, Saprayojanata, that is a Prabala argument, the most forceful argument that almost everybody will put forth is there is usefulness of things. How can you say, sitting here and talking to me, miles away you are sitting and through internet you are able to communicate. So if you are communicating, that means there should be things. You can't say all of this is Maya, unreal. It can't be seen as just an illusion. How can you say these are not real? Because there is usefulness and you are seeing lot of creativity, lot of functioning. So many things are coming together. There are massive amount of technologies involved. When you talk sitting somewhere in the UK and then that whole thing gets spread out to so many other countries from which we are all listening or later on watching, whatever. So there should be some technology. This internet is there. There is memory storage. There is social media. There we are also sitting as people. You are different from me. I am different from somebody else. So there is the Vividha Rachana that we spoke, I think earlier, is there. And utility value is there in everything. So Saprayojanata is there. Therefore, how can it be avitatha? Usefulness implies that it is truth only. It cannot be all imagination. I can accept that dream is not true. I am not even claiming dream is true. But you can't just taking the dream, you can't say Vekan also is untrue. So that is how, that is the Prabala argument which is there. Almost everyone other than a Vedanti who is understood it will bring that as the argument. Therefore, Karikakara also uses that only. Avitatha iva lakshitaha. It is seen, it is believed to be truth until people understand, get the vision of what is the reality. There is similarity on Vitata. Vitataihi sadrishaha santaha. Adavanteja yannasti. Now, nobody is dismissing, we are not dismissing the usefulness and the Vividha Rachana of the world. That you can see even in the dream. In the dream also, there will be Vividha Rachana. Your dream has even more fantastic things than what you see in the waken. But is that enough to prove that what you are seeing is Satyam? In fact, during the dream, you see them as Satyam. You believe it is tangibly Satyam to you. But does that mean it is Satyam? Usefulness is not a criterion. The criterion is whether it transcends time and it is available in all states. If it is always there, then we accept it is Satyam. If it is only a Sthani Dharma or an incidental availability, see what transcends each of the state? The Satyam, which is my Swarupa. The Swarupa of the Sthani, the Atmavastu, is there in dream, deep sleep, waken. When somebody gets another Upadi, when someone goes to Swarga, the Jiva goes to Swarga. He's going to talk about that in the other verse. The Swarupa is there, Swatasiddham. You don't have to prove its existence. Everything else is only a Sthani Dharma. In that Sthanam, that Sthani, the Drashta of the experiencer of that state of experience alone has it. So it is a feature of that state of experience, and it is not the truth, the reality, the Satyavastu. That is the understanding. The example of dream is only to that extent. It's not to say that waken is exactly same as dream. Then there is no two state. Then there's only one state. There is not exact sameness from all the different attributes of what is dream and what is waken. Here there is a Stula Prapancha which is experienced. There it is only Sukshma Prapancha. Sukshma, from the context of you are looking at it from waken and say it is Sukshma experience, correct? At the time of dream, it is as real as waken. So it is within that sthanam, that sthani, the incidental status of the knower has certain experiences, and that is limited to that state alone. It doesn't carry itself to another state. Therefore, it is Adyantavanta. So Adyantavan or Adyantavatvam is there for the state of experience. The Sthani Dharma is momentary, is temporary. That's what is mentioned here. Adau antecha yannasti vartamane api tatha. If it is not there in the beginning and end, that means it is, if it is there only for the duration of an experience, then that whatever is the experience is only temporary. It's only like for that time. It is not permanent. इतश्च वैदत्यं जाग्रदृश्यानां भेदानाम् आद्यन्तयोः अभावात् यद् आदवन्ते च नास्ति वस्तु मृगतृष्णिकादि तन्मध्ये अपि नास्ति इति निश्चितं लोके. Like the mirage and other things which are only temporarily there, Rajju Sarpa and other things, is not. It is there only at the time of delusion. In Brahmasthana only, the Brahmasthani's dharma. When there is Brahma, when there is illusion, when there is a perception, wrong perception, only till that time it exists. It is similarly only here. Tata ime jagadrishyaha vedaha adyantayoho abhavati vidata eva. So it is similar to mrigadrishnikadibihi sadrishatvat. Tatapi avitata iva lakshita मूढ़ैः अनात्मविद्भिः सप्रयोजनता तेषां स्वप्ने विप्रतिपद्यते तस्मात् आद्यन्तवत्वेन मिथ्यैव खलु ते स्मृताः. I think we saw till here. Saprayojanata is there, but that is there even in swapna. But then saprayojanata of Vekan is not prayojanavan, or prayojanavatvam is of the same thing, is not there in swapna. In Vekan there is a prayojana. That prayojana doesn't carry itself to swapna always. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And similarly, there is a saprayojanata in swapna which doesn't necessarily carry on to Vekan. Therefore, it is a sthani dharma only. Prayojanam, see, if you may be a richest person in Vekan, like Birla, GD, whatever, Tata, Birla, we say, right now, Elon Musk or whoever it is. In Vekan, the person may be richest, but when dreaming, that person may have a dream that he is the poorest and crying. All that can happen. So, your status of being a rich in Vekan doesn't necessarily carry to dream. And in dream, you may be so rich, but when you get up, you don't have 10 rupees to go to Amma canteen and buy idli, right? So there is prayojana also is only limited to that state. So prayojanavatvam is not a permanent existence. It is also adavante nasti. Therefore, it is prayojanavatvam doesn't mean it is true. स्वप्न दृश्यवते जागरित दृश्यमानम अपि असत्वमिति यदुक्तं तदयुक्तम्. यस्मात् जाग्रत दृश्याः अन्नपान वाहनादयः क्षुत्पिपासादि निवृत्तिं कुर्वन्तः गमनागमनादि कार्यं च सप्रयोजना दृष्टाः. We saw this, I think. So in the Vekan, so there is a Purva Paksha question that in Vekan there is a lot of utility, like transport and all that. So it's not the same. You can't say all that just because dream is false doesn't mean that with so much of value all these can be considered as similar to swapna. Natu swapna drishyanam tadasti. Tasmat swapna drishyavate jagrad drishyanam asatvam manorathamatramiti tanna. Kasmat yasmat yas saprayojanata drishta annapanadinam sa swapne vipratipadyate. Just now we saw, whatever, if your hunger doesn't go from one state to another. Jagarite hi bhuktva pitva cha triptaha vinivartita tritte suptamatraha eva kshutpipasadi artam ahoratra uposhitam abhuktavantam atmanam manyate yata swapne bhuktva pitva cha atriptottitaha tatha. Tasmate jagradrishyanam swapne vipratipatihi drishta. Same thing that we just spoke, the hunger and thirst doesn't carry itself from dream to deep sleep, or dream to waken, or waken back to dream. Ataha manyamahe tesham api asatvam swapna drishyavate ashankaniyamiti. Tasmad adyantavatvam ubhayatra samanamiti mithyaiva kalute smritaha. Okay. Apurvam sthani dharmo hi yata swarganivasinam tanayam prekshate gatva yataiveha susikshitaha. I think we stopped till here. Sthani dharmaha apurvam yata swarganivasinam tanayam prekshate yata iva susikshitaha gatva prekshate. So there is an apurvatvam in the dream. How can you say dream is all illusion? It is not truth. See, what is the Purvapakshi trying to do here, that Karikakara is addressing actually, is trying to falsify the Drishtanta and that Vyapti Dharma Hetu and all that. You are saying Jagrita Sthana experience as Vitata, Mithya, only on the basis that Drishtatvat Yata Swapne. Drishyatvat Yata Swapne. So, Drishtanashta Swabhava is there in things which are objects of experience. So, Yadyat Drishtam Taddat Anrutam. Therefore, whatever is seen is limited by time. Yata Swapne. So, the Drishtanta is Swapna. Now, Purvapakshi is trying to say that Drishtanta itself is not correct. He comes back again. Already that Samritatvat, Samritatvena Hetuna and all that was told, but still he brings back the same argument here in a different way. He says, Swapna Jagrat Bedayoho Bhashikara. Samatvat Jagrat Bedanam Asattvamiti Yaduktam Tad Asat. Jagrat Swapna Bedayoho Samatvat. What is the Beda? The Grahya Grahaka Beda. That Prakashakam, that which is basically Drashta, Drishyam, Darshana, the Triputi Beda, Grahya Grahaka Beda is there in both. There is Samatvam in Beda. In Grahya Grahaka Beda being there is Sama between Swapnam and Jagrat. In the dream as well as in Vakan, there is the subject-object difference. So, when there is subject-object difference, it is Mithya only. Why? Because in Swapana it is Mithya. Therefore, wherever there is subject-object, the subject-object difference has to be seen, division is to be seen as Mithya only. Is your argument. Swapna, this Purvapakshi asking, Swapna Jagrat Bedayoho Samatvat Jagrat Bedanam Asatvam iti yaduktam. So you the Siddhanti, you are saying that because there is sameness, similarity of Grahya Grahaka Beda between the dream and the Vakan, therefore, just like the dream objects are Vitata, so too the Vakan are Vitata, is what you are saying. Tadasat. That statement of yours is not acceptable. Kasmat. Why? How? Drishtantasya asiddhatva. Your Drishtanta itself, that Yata Swapne, that you are saying, that itself is wrong. That is not Siddham yet. That is not established. So, only when Drishtanta Siddhi has happened, then you can do an Upanaya of the Drishtanta onto Paksha and do the Nigamanam. So, for you to establish it, you can bring the Drishtanta, that Hetu, into the Paksha, which is the Jagrita Sthana, and then you can do a Nigamanam saying Drishyatvad iti Hetoho, everything is Vitatha. You can say. But Drishtanta itself is not establishable, Asiddhatvat. Katham, how are you saying it is not establishable? He says, Nahi Jagrad Drishyaha ye te bhedaha swapne drishyante. Kim tarhi. So he's saying, if you are assuming, so the Purvapaksha is telling the Siddhanti, you are assuming whatever you are seeing in the dream are only memories. If it is memory, that means the Vakan experience only is coming same way in dream. Then I can understand it is Vitata. Suppose I see today a helicopter and say some, big Land Rover or something like that, or some persons, and they alone come in the dream, nothing more than that, then I can accept it is Mithya. But it is not limited to only that. nahi jagradrishyaye te vedaha swapne drishyante. Okay, what is not seen in the waken are also seen in the dream. Kim tarhi? Apurvam swapne pashyati. What is not seen before, we all see in the dream. Chaturdantam gajam arudaha ashtabhujam atmanam. I see myself not with these two hands and these legs and this face and all that, but having 8 arms, 4 here, 4 there. Ashtabhuja, like Durga. So, Ashtabhujam Atmanam Chaturdantam Gajam Arudaha with 4 tusks. Okay. Elephants have 2 tusks, male elephants. With 4 tusks, elephant, which you haven't seen in the world, 4 tusked elephant. And you never have 8 arms, but in the dream you are seeing. So it is its own experience there. So it is, there is an apurvatvam. So your example, that dream is a mithya. Therefore, Vekan has to be mithya, is not establishable, because dream itself is not just a memory recollection, but its own unique experience. So it is Satyam only. Anyadapi evam prakaram apurvam pashyati swapne. This is one example. Maybe Shankaracharya himself saw that, that dream. We don't know. So he gives one example. Chaturdantam gajamarudaha ashtabhujamatmanam. But like that, we all see, like Star Wars and, start talking to Leonard Nimoy and with all this fancy hair and, with one eye, single eye, all that we used to watch in that Star Trek. Like that also, you have some status in the dream is possible. Therefore, anyadapi evam prakaram apurvam pashyati swapne. Tanna anye tan na anyena asata samam iti sadeva iti. So it is not same as the other kind of illusions like Mrigatrishnika, all that. You can't compare those. This is like true experience of a different, form of life. Ataha drishtantaha asiddha. Therefore, your drishtanta doesn't hold water. So all this Upanaya and Nigamanam and all that are untenable. Tasmate swapnavate jagaritasya asatvam iti ayuktam. So you can't make conclusions based on it because your foundation itself is trembling. Tanna. No, sir, it can't be that way. Why? Swapne drishtam apurvam yan manyase na tat swataha siddham. So there are 2 kinds of knowledge possible. One is swatasiddham, another is pramana siddham. So here what you are seeing is anyway not a pramana siddha vastu, because you are not using your pramana. Pratyaksha anumana and all are not used. Nor is it swatasiddha vastu, because swatasiddha means it should always be there. Pramana siddham only is there when the pramana is in use. Swatasiddham has to be always there. Also, all this, just because you are seeing this doesn't establish it, because it is momentary. At the time of seeing it only, it is there. He's going to later talk about Dvikalam, all that. Later on, in after 3-4 verses. Okay. Swapne drishtam apurvam yan manyase. Whatever you are seeing is apurvam, a new experience. That experience itself doesn't stand. Therefore, it is mithya only. That is what he's saying. Swapne drishtam apurvam yan manyase. Whatever you are thinking as apurvam, because it is seen in swapne for the first time, that also is not new in its own. It needs few other things. What? You should know that there is something called hand. You should have seen a 2 hand. You would have seen an 8-hand sculpture of Durga. You have seen 6-handed Subramanya. You have seen 4-handed Brahma sculpture. And you have already seen 2-tusked elephant. So your swapna is based on your knowledge of elephant, your knowledge of tusk, your knowledge of hand, your knowledge of number called 8, your knowledge of how 8 hands look in a sculpture, lot of those things. So there is raw material which comes from Vacan. You are pulling it together and making it a different thing in your dream, right? We all understand this, right? So he's saying it is not Swata Siddham. He's going to give a beautiful example for it. In fact, this Swarganivasinam is what Karikakara says and says, Tan ayam prekshate gatva yata iva iha susikshitaha. So going to Swarga, the person understands what is Swarga based on what descriptions he or she got about it when alive, is one way of understanding. But Bhashyakara splits it differently. Swarganivasinam he talks separately. Prekshate gatva yata iva susikshitaha is, he takes it as though somebody who is going to a new place. Okay, new place, how is the experience? We'll come to that because let's read the Bhashya and do that. But basically, it is still a sthani dharma, he's going to say. So it is only a collection or it's a random rejigging of what you already know. So it is not Swata Siddham. It is not a totally new experience. That's what it means. Na Swata Siddham. So we don't even need to say Pramana Siddham and all that here. Very simple is it's about the dream experience. He is saying the dream experience is not on its own. It is still based on the raw materials which are accumulated in Vacan. Kim tarhi apurvam sthani dharmohi. Whatever you are saying that apurvam, it is yes, incidental experience of the state. That is sthani dharma. Not Atma who is a sthani. That's not the thing here. It is the indweller of that state of experience incidentally has this attribute. There is no apurvata there because it doesn't have an independent existence. It is a temporary thing which happens during that state based on another state things. Okay. Sthaninaha drashtuhu evahi swapnasthanavataha dharmaha. The swapnasthana drashtoho dharmaha sthaninaha dharmaha. Drashtuhu dharmaha. The seer status of or the dreamer's state is it. That's all. It's an attribute quality of the dreamer. Yata Swarganivasinam Indradinam Sahasrakshatvadi. Like Indra. Indra is a status. We know that, right? Indra is not a person who is eternally Indra. Anybody can become Indra. Now you do penance. We have read all those stories, Purana stories. I heard in some Upanyasas and all that. No? Like someone does tapas, then Indra's throne starts shaking. In the movies, you will see that no, the throne is shaking. Then Indra will just go do his jnana drishti and find out this person is doing tapas. So he is afraid. Oh, my Indra position will go away. This person will become an Indra now. So he will send some apsaras to disturb the penance. What is the implication there is anybody can become Indra. It's not a permanent state. It is any jiva who is exalted, who has done tapas, can take the Indra Padavi. Now, that experience, Indra means Indra needs to have 1,000 eyes. Means what? Sahasrakshaha means he is the Ishvara, the Lord, through all the forces of nature, which are devatas. The devatas are all performing their function. But Indra, being Ishvara, is aware of all those things going on as a singular Ishvara. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, right? Yayata mam prapadyante tans tataiva bhajamyaham. Yepi anyadevata bhaktaha, all that he speaks. Shraddhaya chitamichhati. Tasya tasyam whatever. So he says, whatever these people want from each of the devatas, that ahameva dadami, taneva vidadamyaham, all that he talks there. What does that mean? It is the same Ishvara who is in the form of all these devatas, and he is a witness to what other devatas are doing. As a adyaksha, mayadhyakshena prakritihi, again in Bhagavad Gita. This adyakshatvam is there in Ishvara, is oversight. Therefore, Sahasrakshaha Indraha. But even if Indra has the padavi, any jiva can become the adyaksha of all the devatas. Then that Indra experience is only till the time you are Indra. From the time you start playing that Indra role, till the time, again, you being an Indra is also limited by time, depends on how much punya you have for the Indra padavi. Again, these are all Prauranika, right? So assuming all this is a fact, based on our Shraddha and the Purana, we can say that so long as I am enjoying the Indra padavi, I will have a Sahasrakshatvam. Yata Swarganivasinam Indradinam Sahasrakshatvam is what Sthani Dharmaha. In that Indra Sthana, in Swarga Sthana, I am a Jiva. Indra also is a Jiva here. If we take it as Ishvara, as Sahasraksha, that's a different thing. But Indra as a Jiva, who is right now a Swarga Nivasi, but has the power of Sahasraki, you are experiencing what every Devata is functioning, and you have the sight of it as a Jiva, who is an exalted Jiva playing the role of Indra. Then Indradinam Sahasrakshatvadi yatha sthani dharmaha tata swapna drishaha apurvaha ayan dharmaha. Like that, if you become an Indra, you experience that. Like that, in the dream, you have a certain state of experience. And again, this Indra experience also is based on what? You have to, if you say as an Indra, I will see. So that seeing is a knowledge you should have. What is seeing? Then only the seeing can happen. So the raw material about you being a jiva with certain basic things like as a seer has to be carried forward. Then only you can say I became Indra. So to say that I has to have Sukshma Sharira and all that, right? Otherwise, you can't say I am the one who is becoming Indra. Like that, from vacant to dream, there is something which is going from here to there. So tata swapna drishaha apurvaha ayan dharmaha na swatasiddhaha drashtuhu surupavate. Drashtu surupa alone is swatasiddhaha. It is always there. Whether you are an Indra, whether you are a Chandra, or whether you are a Swapna Drashta, or you are a vacant guy, Swatasiddha Surupa is always there. It doesn't change. But the Indratvam, Sahasrakshatvam, Ashtabhujatvam is all incidental. It is only Sthani Dharma. A dreamer's quality or Indra Indra, what Indra Rupa Jiva's quality, like that. Tan evam prakaran apurvan swachitta vikalpan ayam sthani yaha swapnadrik swapnasthanam gatva prekshate. Swachitta vikalpaneva prekshate. It is still in one's own mind, whatever is there is what is seen. It is not like totally unknown. It's just a reassembling, rejigging of your component knowledge, and you are seeing that. Yata iva. The second line he is explaining differently. See, the way we can directly, if you read the Karika again, we can directly interpret it differently. Apurvam sthani dharmaha hi yata swarga nivasinam tan ayam prekshate gatva yata iva iha susikshitah. Iha yata susikshitah gatva prekshate tata ayam swapne gatva prekshate swarga nivasinam iva prekshate. Okay, you can, yeah, we can take it as Bhashyakara what he is saying itself, because yata iva susikshitah gatva prekshate is all that. It can't necessarily be linked to swarga nivasinam. Therefore, it is an independent thing only. Iha, so Bhashyakara how he is saying is iha loke, yata iva iha loke, in this world, susikshitah devadattah deshantar margah tena margena deshantaram gatva deshantar margah susikshitah loke margena deshantaram gatva padarthan pasyati tadvate. The marga has to be known. See, what is marga? So let's look at the drishtanta first and then come to the ashtantika. Loke, in this world, susikshitah margah deshantara margah susikshitah. When the route, somebody wants to go to Varanasi, Kashi from Kumbakonam. In those days, okay, we have to, because today is a world, different world. You have internet, you already watch videos and all that. So you know exactly how is Kashi, because you have seen it in video. But somebody who is like in those days wants to go from Kumbakonam to Kashi, the entire route is told. First you keep going, walking towards Tanjavur and then to Chidambaram and whatever, right? And then Chennai, and from there to Andhra Desham and Odisha, whatever, or through Madhya Pradesh. In those days they would have said whatever, Ujjaini, all those things, and then they go there. Ujjain also was called, what was it? Anyway, the Sapta Kshetra, Avadis Ayodhya, then whatever those days, whatever name was there, they would have told some marga now. And also Kashi, within Kashi, what do you see? Like then again, they would have spoken about Bindu Madhava and the Kashi Vishwanatha, right? All those things, they would have given description. Now somebody goes through that route. What? Susikshitah Deshantara margaha susikshitah, then goes to margena deshantaram gatva. Through that path, then as per the descriptions given, only the person goes and then reaches the destination. And the destination, that person, oh, this is what is Vishwanatha, oh, this is what is Bindu Madhava, this is what is Kalabhairava temple. Okay, this is how it was described. I am seeing this, and all the way also he understands. And of course, now for him to go there and see, he needed, coming to Drashtantika, he needed a description of way. Without knowing what is the way, he would have never been able to go. And everything on the way, he should have known in some format. Exactly, he won't know. Correct? He will know this is roughly how it will be. Vishwanatha temple is this big or this small, depends on when you are going. They would have given some description. Then Manikarnika Ghat is there. Then Harishchandra Ghat is there, or Hanuman Ghat is there. So if you are going like 100 years back, they would have said, yeah, this Hanuman Ghat, you go there. Some Pandit Ji is there, you go talk to the person, then they will do all this thing, something they would have told. Now when you go, then you do, everything is new to you. You haven't seen it. But the word, I know Hanuman Ghat. Okay, then I go and then find out this is Hanuman. Oh, this is Hanuman Ghat. Now, there is certain things which you have, based on which you pulled it together and achieved it and had an experience. So that's what happens in dream. This is what he's saying. So you have Sushikshitaha Margaha, Deshantara Margaha. You have you know what is hand. You know what is multiple hands. Like you would have seen two hands in life, or little more octopus with so many hands. That you know. Similarly, you know what is a tusk, what is an elephant, what does it mean by sitting and riding. So it is like knowing the marga. Sushikshita marga types. You know what makes up the dream. All those things you knew. But actually seeing the Deshantaram is how you are seeing an actual dream. That's all. So it is not Swatasiddham. The route to Kashi is not Swatasiddham. If somebody hadn't told you, you would have never reached Kashi. Someone has to give you the direction. Otherwise, if you don't even know whether you have to go northeast, southwest, how will you go and reach? Every point you can take this side or that side or back side, whatever, right? There is always branching off possible. So somebody has to tell you the route, at least either during the beginning or somewhere on the way. People have to guide you in those days. In these days, we have technologies and all that, but still there is a guidance. Therefore, Loke, again, that's why we have to think of it in the context of the times when this was written. So the example then only will become meaningful. No? Tasmat yata sthani dharmanam Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrishnikaadinam Asatvam Tata Swapnadrishyanam Apurvanam Sthani Dharmattvameva iti Asatvam Ataha na Swapnadrishtantasya Asiddhatvam. So he concludes Yata Sthani Dharmanam. So the Sthani Dharma in Vacan. What is a Sthani Dharma? In a Brahmasthana, like I said, when you are in a delusional state, Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrishnikaadinam Asatvam. What you see in the delusional state of superimposed snake or a superimposed water, that delusional state is unreal. Tata. Whatever you are seeing in Swapna, even if it is Apurvam, it is still the Sthani Dharma only. Like a delusional state in Vacan, so too the Swapna also. It is Asatvam. Now, very interesting. I was just thinking, why did he say Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrishnadika? He could have just said the entire Vekanistani Dharma and Asatvam. There is Asatvam there. Why is he comparing the dream with Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrishnika? Because the next verse is Swapna Pravrittavapi tu Antaschetasa Kalpitam tu Asate Bahischeto Grihitam Sadrisham Vaitatyam Etayoho. We will see that right now. Okay. So, Ataha na Swapna Drishtasya Asiddhatva. So, he concludes saying that Swapna Drishtantasya Asiddhatvam is not there because your example is valid only. He concludes. Now, the next verse is interesting. Swapna Vrittavapi. Swapna Vrittavapi Tvantaha Chetasa Kalpitam Tvasat Bahischeto Grihitam Sat Drishtam Vaitatyametayoho. Swapna vrittau api tu antaschetasa kalpitam tu asati. Even in dream, there is a antaschetasa kalpinam, bahishcheto kalpitam. That within the dream also you are thinking. See, suppose you have a dream. You have a dream where your friend is coming and telling you some news. Suppose that's your dream. Now within the dream also you are receiving that news and thinking something. Oh, this news, can it be true or false? Suppose you are thinking. So the thinking happens within the dream, which itself is happening in the mind. There is you as a person who has a mind inside that. So you are playing the role of a person who has 8 hands. Suppose let's extend that same dream. You are Ashtabhuja sitting on Chadurdanta, that elephant you are sitting. Okay, you are like a king. And in the opposite, there is another big elephant comes with, say, 6 tusks and a 4-handed person. That person comes, stops this elephant, okay, and then gives you a news that the neighboring king is going to come and wage a war on our country. Suppose something is saying. Then within the dream itself, you will think, oh, if the king is going to wage the war, should I have more army in the, boundaries, borders? Suppose you are thinking. So there is an antascheta vyavahara which is happening in the dream itself. Why Karikakara brings this is, there will be a question. What? Dream means everything is within the mind. But Vekan doesn't mean everything is in the mind. Vekan, there are things which you imagine also, but there are also things which are tangible. So you can't compare the dream and Vekan, because dream has both an imagination and stuff, but also a tangible stuff. So I see, that's why this Raju Sarpa thing he spoke earlier. Okay, in the Vekan, I see Raju Sarpa, Mrigatrishnika, all that you can say asatyam. But there is also Satya part, like what? The rope itself. You can say Raju Sarpa is asatyam, but in the Vekan I have to say that Raju is satyam. Whereas in the case of dream, everything is asatyam. So Vekan is a little more than satyam, so you can't asatyam. So there is a satyatvam here. It is more than the dream. So how can you say that they are both same? Can be the question. So to answer that only, this verse is saying Swapna Vrittau api tu antaschetasa kalpitam tu asat. So within the dream there are two things, that you are thinking something, so that you are probably imagining within the dream. In the dream itself, suppose that 6-handed elephant or 6-tusked elephant with 4-handed person is there. There you are thinking, oh, this was just my imagination. Actually, the guy who came in front of me has only 2 hands. It is just in my imagination I saw 4 hands while coming. Suppose you think like that in the dream. Now, there it is what? Antascheta kalpitam is about that person. But within the dream also, there is a bahishcheto grihitatvam of the actual guy sitting there with 2 hands. Correct? So just like in Vekan, you can have a Rajju Sarpa Jnanam and actual Rajju Jnanam. Similarly, in the dream also, you can have a person who has that you see as 2-handed person, but you could have done a kalpana within the dream that this person looks like a 4-handed person. It's all possible. So there is an equivalence there also, is what he's going to say. Swapna vrittau api tu antaschetasa kalpitam tu asate bahishcheto grihitam sadrisham vaitatyam etayoho. Similarly, in the Vekan also, both Raju Sarpa is false as well as Raju also is false only. How do you say that? Drishyatva. Apurvatva shankam niragritya swapna drishtandasya punaha swapna tulyatam jagrat bedanam prapanchayannaha. Jagrat beda also is similar to swapna only. To establish it, Karikakara is saying this verse is how Bhashyakara introduces Swapna Vrittau apitvantaha चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसते बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सते दृष्टं वैतत्यमेतयोः स्वप्नप्रवृत्तोऽपि स्वप्नस्थाने अपि अन्तश्चेतसा मनोरथसङ्कल्पितम् असत् संकल्पानन्तरम् अन्तरसमकालमेव अदर्शनात्. That the dreaming within the dream also goes away during the dream itself momentarily. Tatraiva swapne बहिश्चेतसा गृहीतं चक्षुरादिद्वारेण उपलब्धं घटादि सद् इति एवम् असत्यमिति निश्चिते अपि सदसद्विभागः दृष्टः. So in the dream also you can see a part which continues after your imagination within the dream has gone. So there is a longer satyatvam of the ghatam, shorter satyatvam of what is imagined during the dream. But then both the ghata, which is the longer existence, and your shorter imagination turns out to be false when you wake up. It is the same thing with Vakan. You see something as asat in the Vakan. You perceive something as sat in the Vakan. Both of them are asat when you look at what is Trikala Baditam Sati. Ubayorapi Antarbahishchetaha Kalpitayoho Vaitatyameva iti Drishtham. Both of them are Vitata only. We'll see more. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.